the crowd would be there to greet him with howls of lust and fury.
Arnold's an immensely admirable person. I mean, he's very smart. I think he's going to be a better governor than he's been anything else.
So was this from Conan?
Yes.
John Milius is the legendary Hollywood director who recognized Arnold's potential, gave him a sword and a loincloth, and transformed him into an action hero. The director of Conan, Red Dawn, and co-writer of Apocalypse Now, Milius is proudly militaristic, and he's also one of Hollywood's most famous conservatives.
Hollywood was always left-wing, and I was always a pariah. Culturally, I am uncool. Culturally, I'm not cutting edge. The codes of behavior that I live by and the institutions I admire were probably dead before I was born. I felt I was a more traditional American conservative, that I was, more in the line of the tradition of rugged individualism. I find, resisting power and, revolution very, very romantic.
Red Dawn is about a group of American high school kids resisting a Russian invasion of their small town.
The critics hated me. They always said, this guy's dangerous. He's subversive.
Avenge me! Avenge me!
Red Dawn really rang their bell. I didn't think that it would cause such a cheap shot reaction from the left. It was not their political view, and it was to be suppressed and made fun of and belittled, which is the way the left deals with everything. I've been blacklisted probably since then, I've been blacklisted as surely as anybody in the 50s. I should have made 20 more films.
The House Un-American Activities Committee begins its film hearings in Washington. The committee is inquiring into alleged communism in Hollywood.
Meeting will come to order.
50 years ago, conservatives in Hollywood helped engineer the blacklist by inviting Congress to investigate the film industry and identifying suspected communists.
We are accused of having communists and communist sympathizers in our employ.
Innocent members of the film community lost their jobs, and today, conservatives in Hollywood are still viewed with suspicion by many on the left. So it was strange to hear a successful conservative like Milius co-opt the term. Were conservatives really an oppressed minority in Hollywood? Sam Haskell is the top television agent at William Morris, a big talent agency in Hollywood.
If a white or a gray list existed, I feel like I would know about it. But I can tell you that there is not one client that I represent that is hired or not hired because of their political views. In my 25 years in this business, I have never personally experienced any exclusion or any problem with the fact that I am a conservative.
No evidence has been produced at these hearings that the pictures contain any subversive propaganda.
I asked Haskell if the blacklist was still a divisive issue in Hollywood.
I think that the dark days of the blacklist was ugly, disgusting, often misguided and misdirected. And when Kazan walked out to get his honorary Oscar for his contributions to the motion picture industry, not his political views, I don't believe he should have been booed.
Elia Kazan, the director of On the Waterfront, had provided names of suspected communists to congressional investigators. And 50 years later, some in Hollywood had refused to forgive him for cooperating.
We're a very forgiving nature. We have forgiven the Germans, we have forgiven the Japanese for bombing Pearl Harbor, but we just can't forgive that blacklist. Now, that's a generational thing, and I think we're getting closer and closer to the point where the blacklist is going to be truly ancient history and difficult for people to get all excited about. But that comes up so often, as if McCarthy is prowling the hallways here and is going to come out and go boo one of these days. It's amazing how much of the left-right divide in our business still relates to that, even though that was, 40 years ago, more than.